Hey folks, welcome back to yet another review video. Today, let's have a little discussion about a new BBC Three series that totally blew my mind, and I have a lot of feelings about it, and pretty much they're all positive. Now, the series I'm referring to is 13, starring, I think it's Jennifer Karma? I think that's her name, and it's a kidnap thriller series following the character of Ivy Moxam, who is readjusting to life after being kidnapped 13 years prior. This was such a welcome surprise. I didn't particularly have many expectations because of the stuff that BBC Three have produced previously. I mean, I liked the short film, I guess it was, Murdered by My Boyfriend. That was fantastic, and I was thinking, more of this please, BBC. And then they made comedy series like Cuckoo, and I was like, BBC? Really? Okay. But this series came out of nowhere, and it was fantastic. So I'll start off with the main categories and go from there. So the acting was amazing, but I think part of the reason that the acting was amazing was because the script was fantastic. These characters don't feel like stereotypes, they feel like real people. And although I don't think there's many people that can empathise with Ivy, you can sympathise with her. And there are various things that she does that once you understand her thought process, you can begin to comprehend and condone. And this includes things like trying to protect the person who kidnapped her. But when you've seen all of this through Ivy's eyes, you begin to think, okay. And I thought it was really interesting the way they conveyed her struggle to deal with life. Because if you think about it, oh, what happened to my voice there? Oh, if you think about it, she's been away for 13 years. Everything will have changed, and yet her family have to make things the way that they were 13 years ago, which includes having her father move back in even though her parents are separated. Just little elements, and I think when you hear about stories to do with kidnapping, you kind of have an idea of the family's struggle in all of it, but there is more of a focus on the victim, whereas this, you see the struggles of all the different groups involved in this case. You see Ivy, the victim, struggle. You see her family struggle to adapt and to begin to understand this terrible thing that's happened. You see the struggle of the police officers that are involved, the police detectives. You even see the conflict between the two detectives. I can't remember her name. Female detective, Lisa. We'll call her Lisa for now. And her conflict with Richard Rankin's Elliot Kahn. Whereas he wants to sort of be a friend to her and allow her to confide in him, and initially he believes everything she says, whereas Lisa ain't so convinced and doesn't believe Ivy initially. But it's the evolution throughout this plot is just amazing, and it was so difficult to predict what was coming next. And that is what I love, when a new original TV series can keep me on tenterhooks. Well, I don't know where it's going. Well, I can't predict what's going to happen. I don't think it's possible to predict what the outcome is until about 5 minutes from the end. And even then, there's just one last plot twist in episode 5, and you're just like, booyah! But it just throws you so many curveballs, and the script was fantastic. The acting, fantastic. Every actor does their job phenomenally. They convey the conflict of the different parties involved, which I think the only way something like this works is if you feel emotional attachments towards the characters. And you do. You do feel sorry for Ivy. You feel sorry for Detective Khan. You, well then again, kind of got a soft spot for him. He's yet another one of the many, many actors I have a soft spot for. So, you know, keep watching. What can you do? You just feel sorry for them, and you can understand all of the characters' motivations, which is why when they conflict, you don't really know which side of the fence to sit on. Like, it's within the first episode. This, I don't know if this is spoilery. I'll give you a spoiler warning now, you know, if you haven't seen the series yet. I would recommend highly watching it. Highly. But, within the first episode, there is a conflict as to whether Ivy is actually Ivy. And, sorry. Oh, I've got ghosts living in house with me. Hello. So, and then there are conflicts later, internal conflicts. Oh, it's just so good. It's so good. So good. Oh, BBC 3. Epic. Just keep this going, and people will begin to wonder why you only became an online platform. Oh, back of my throat there. Oh. Anyway, the cinematography, yet again, BBC are just amazing with the cinematography. Everything they seem to do recently is so beautiful. It's got better cinematography than most films. I was just like, okay, epic. The score was fantastic. It helped maintain the atmosphere of suspense. You never really felt like there was a moment where the threat was gone. The kidnapper is, for the majority of the series, is still out and about, and you don't know where he is, and there are a few little fake outs where you think he's going to come back for her. And the music did such a good job. The acting and the music both did such a good job of keeping you in suspense and not being quite sure of what the outcome was going to be, which was such a strength. I don't even know where I would look for negatives. I think that the story took the time it needed to get to the points it needed to go. Like, it does take until episode 5 for you to actually meet the kidnapper. I won't go into spoilers, but you know, episode 5 is like the final episode. You would kind of expect it. But it does take time to develop emotions that by episode 5 you're kind of ready for the plot to be resolved. And the last plot twist, like, man, everything this series throws at you is epic. I loved it. I love it so much. But negatives, I don't know. I don't know. It's as close to, in my mind, a perfect series. BBC 3 did what they had to do, and this series told the story it needed to, in the way it wanted, and did a pretty bloody fantastic job. So if they can just keep this up, maybe BBC 3, maybe BBC 3, you might get back onto the actual telly. But then again, if being a solely online platform is what allows BBC 3 to become this arena for content like this to be produced, then maybe the internet is the best place for BBC Three. It's, oh, so good. So I'm gonna have to give it a 10 out of 10. It's fantastic. It's, oh, so good. So good. So, yeah, it's just fantastic. I could not recommend this highly enough. If you enjoy suspense and emotional drama, psychological suspense and thrillers and kidnap dramas and a little bit of romance thrown in there and mystery, then this is the series for you. Just watch it, please, just watch it. You won't regret it. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'll be back later with another BBC Three review, because why not? BBC Three night. Well, hey. Not like I've just like binge watched this. No, of course not. Nah. So I will see you later. Bye guys.